Child, Florida will ban saying LGBTQ in schools. Here's the story. House Bill 1557, formerly known as the Parental Rights and Education Bill, will prevent schools from encouraging classroom discussion about LGBTQ people in primary grade levels or in any manner that is non-age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students. The legislation, which LGBTQ advocates refer to as the Don't Say Gay Bill, will also allow parents to bring legal action against schools if Florida teachers discuss gender identity and sexuality, or even encourage the classroom discussion about LGBTQ people. Republican Representative Joe Harding, who introduced the bill, argued the legislation about defending the most awesome responsibility a person can have, being a parent. However, LGBTQ advocates have slammed the bill for trying to erase queer people and effectively policing the identities of young people in Florida. Watch this.
But what we do know is that LGBTQ people are a normal, healthy part of our society. We're parents, students, and teachers. We are your brothers and your sisters. Conversations about us aren't something dangerous that should be banned. That's deeply prejudicial, and it sends a terrible message to our young people, including LGBTQ young people or young people who have LGBTQ parents. There are a lot of issues that ought to be approached with care in how we respectfully talk about them with our children. Issues like religion, politics, weighty issues like death, the meaning of life. But this bill doesn't speak to any of those. It's only talking about sexual orientation and gender identity, and it's stigmatizing because of that. Sexual orientation and gender identity are about who we love and who we are. If you're worried about teaching students about sexual activities, then regulate that, but don't use this as a front to ban discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity. We already have statutes on age-appropriate sexual education, so this bill adds nothing to that. It's about finding a place to erase our existence and be able to not talk about us. How dare you support a bill like this and call yourself an ally of the LGBTQ community? You can't. You simply can't. We ask that you oppose this bill.
How do we unpack what we just saw and witnessed?
Well, you know, it's almost impossible, right? The idea that the most important job that you can have is being a parent, and so that means you can't discuss issues at all. It doesn't even make sense. Like, everything about it is so opposite, you know, of what would be educational or healthcare related.
Transformative, progressive.
It's just,
I think they really need to read George M. Johnson's book, All Boys Aren't Blue, that will tell the reason why this shouldn't be done in our schools, why lessons like this should not be erased.
well, yeah, the point is age appropriate. What is age appropriate? I mean, kids
And when
are
are we-
already discussing sexuality in kindergarten.
And it
When are we
shouldn't be-
going to get over age appropriate?
They need to get
Let's
over that.
remove that from the
Exactly.
American standard.
Exactly.
You know, let's move on past age appropriate.
If you're over
Kids-
2, you can have a
You know, we know what's going on. You know?
Kids today, honestly, are more comfortable and know their sexuality better
Than
than half
adults.
the damn adults that are out.
Look,
Which
let's
is
let's
the
just be
problem.
real. I know me when I was their age and younger. I knew I was a queen. I mean, from the womb to the tomb. Hey, I'm trying to tell
What
somebody.
John said is the important part. It's not the kids that would be uncomfortable.
It's the
adults.
yeah.
the parents.
The adults.
Because they're gonna have to face reality that
Well,
oh my
everyone's going to
God,
have to face
my
am I walking
son-
my truth and how to be gracious in love.
I want to say this and I'm done. To that parent that's watching, to that grandparent who's raising a child that has become gay or lesbian, let me tell you, it's not your fault.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBT